At this point, I feel like Castlevania is probably one of the very few things that's truly keeping Konami relevant in this day and age. And that's mainly because of their animated series. Because it sure as hell isn't due to the Castlevania games, because I can't remember the last time we got a high profile Castlevania game. And it seems like the Castlevania video game series has been dead for quite some time, despite all the titles that we got during during like the 2000s and like to the early teens to some extent. But last year we got a Castlevania anime called Castlevania Nocturne season 1, and that premiered on Netflix, and it's something that got mixed reviews that lean mainly towards positive because of the animation, the voiceover acting, um and I guess like for the most part, some people like the direction that was taken in this particular anime, because you look at this, it's pretty much like loosely based off of the Rondo of Blood game and Castlevania Symphony of the Night, two classic Castlevania games that came out during the 90s. And like not too long ago, I actually went on Rotten Tomatoes and it got like a 96% for the most part. So a lot of people actually like what they got for Castlevania Nocturne. Some people like the original or the other Castlevania anime that appeared on Netflix back in 2017, and I believe that got like 4 seasons. And like I actually watched like the first 2 seasons, and honestly, I liked the first season a lot, and I kind of felt like things went downhill after Dracula died or whatever. But for the most part, the Castlevania animated series has been really entertaining. I'm not exactly sure whether or not it's a sign of whether Konami is going to go back to making more Castlevania video games in the future, but not too long ago, a trailer was revealed for season 2 of Castlevania Nocturne, and that's supposed to be coming to Netflix in January of 2025, or at least that's the expected time frame for its release. An official release date um, for the first episode of season 2 of Castlevania Nocturne has yet to be revealed, but we do know that characters like Richard Belmont, Annette, Maria, and Alucard, they're going to be appearing in that as well. They're going to continue war against Elizabeth Bathory, and basically she's supposed to be like the I guess like the vampire like savior or whatever, and it's something that a lot of people it's a lot of people have like a mixed reception about the main villain of Castlevania Nocturne thus far, and the reason I say that is because people feel like if this is supposed to be like a loose adaptation of Rondo of Blood or whatever, shouldn't Dracula be the main villain, or if it's supposed to be a loose adaptation of Symphony of the Night, shouldn't Shaft be the main villain or whatever? But I don't know. It's a loose adaptation, which means it's nothing direct, and I guess like the creators have like more wiggle room than they would if they were trying to make a direct adaptation of either one of those games. And for the most part, you got to do something to kind of make it stand out, because like you look at the name of the main antagonist, she's basically she basically got her name from a Hungarian serial killer who was alive during or she was born during like the 15th century, and then she died in like the early 1600s. And I think that's something that's kind of cool that they drew inspiration from real life, notorious figures of the past. And I think that Castlevania Nocturne is one that if it continues getting a positive reception, it's going to end up having 2 more seasons and ultimately have like 4 seasons similar to that of the Castlevania series of 2017. But but yeah, I think that Castlevania is just better off as a television series, 'cause I think so far it's been pretty decent on Netflix. And again, I don't think Konami is ever really going to give us a major Castlevania game anytime in the future, because I'm pretty sure that Lords of the Shadow 2, which came out like about a decade ago, that's one of the things that kind of some people will go on record and tell you that kind of killed the series because it did so bad in terms of commercial sales. No one really talked about it. And to be fair, it came out during a time period where it seemed like there was really like nothing that was like happening at all in the year that came out because I think Castlevania Lords of the Shadow 2 came out in 2014. It was an action adventure game. And let's be brutally honest, that year was really bad in relation to video game releases because I can't think of a single video game from 2014 that was really that big or that was like a big deal or anything like that. I think 2015 personally was a better year for video game releases in general, but I digress. We haven't really seen a major like Castlevania game since Lords of the Shadow 2. And I doubt we're going to be getting a Lords of the Shadow 3, but I would love to see remakes of older Castlevania games like Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood. And, I would even like to see Konami like take, maybe Castlevania Nocturne, season one, or anything that we got in 2017 from the animated series. And I would like to see that like made into a video game with the same type of visuals and graphics. Because I'm pretty sure that's something that a lot of people would be impressed by, and it would definitely bring back lapsed fans of the Castlevania series from back in the 80s and the 90s and even the early 2000s to some extent. But a lot of people, including myself, is excited for Castlevania Nocturne coming to Netflix in January 2025. But the thing is, we're still waiting to learn more details and more info about it because we don't know what the release date's going to be, and we don't know exactly what to expect other than a continuation of what we saw in season one.